Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. So, it's been a very long time since we've spoken, and I wanted to get on here and, I don't know, tell you what I've been up to, because I'm sure y'all think I probably died. I post on the Instagram story every once in a while, but I know that not everyone gets on that. So, anyway, I'm alive and I'm well. As you can tell by the new background, I have moved. I know last time that we talked, I told you that I was like applying for new jobs, and anyway, I got one. I started my new job back in the summer, and so my last video was about 8 months ago, and I started my job about 6-7 months ago, so not long after. And anyway, I moved to cities, and now I live in this beautiful studio apartment. It's been kind of a dream, honestly. Like, it's my dream job for now, and this is an amazing place to live. I live in San Francisco. Growing up, I never imagined myself living in San Francisco because I'm from Arkansas, and we're very, tradition. I don't know. I know a lot of my subscribers or friends or whatever you want to say don't live in the U.S., but for those of us that do live in the U.S., I'm from the South, and came from a very traditional upbringing where everyone talked crap on San Francisco. So basically, yeah, I just never thought I'd live here because my whole family hates it. But now that I live here, they're accepting of it and all that good stuff. But anyway, it's a beautiful city, and I was lucky enough to find a place right on the water, so I live right next to the ocean, which is, I've never had in my whole life, because I'm from Arkansas originally, so I'm like landlocked, And so, yeah, it's just pretty surreal. I'm just gonna catch up on my life a little bit and try not to get overly personal about my job, just because it is a very private field, and I don't know, like, they're just super secretive. I had to sign an NDA and stuff, so I can't talk too much about it, but I can be vague. So basically, I was applying for executive assistant and personal assistant jobs, and I think I would be great at both, but I think I would prefer personal over executive, just because executive, you're just sitting at a desk all day most of the time, but personal, you're usually like in the person's home, helping them out, do whatever needs to be done. And anyway, so I wound up, like, apparently no one was interested in me for the executive side of things, just because I have more experience with the personal side of things. So basically, let me see here. See, I got my years of usage, so I'm thinking about my tallies. I'm gonna have to tally both, because I just recently rewrote up my little thing. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a weird eye look, and I'm just showering after this. Well, actually, I'm gonna film a couple videos and then shower. But I'm doing a weird look because I'm doing my years of usage update or whatever, and I just need to get a couple tallies on some things that I'm like close to hitting goal on, but I'm not quite there. So yeah, anyway, so I didn't get any interviews for the EA, but I got some interviews with recruiters, but not with like the big dogs, so to speak. But I did get, so the Bay Area is like the best area in the country for personal assisting, and I did get I went pretty far in interviews with 2 families. The reason the Bay is the most popular is because this is where the most rich people are that can afford to have a personal assistant. But anyway, the first job that I was interviewing with, I was just like very anxiety ridden the whole interview process, because I know I'm great at interviewing, but at the same time, like, I feel like I came from a really rough upbringing, and I feel like things literally never go my way. And so I just thought it was kind of a little bit of a long shot for me to get one of these opportunities, I guess. But anyway, it wound up. So the first place I interviewed with was closer to where I lived before in the South Bay. And I went through 3 or 4 interviews with them. They absolutely loved me. I was in my final interview. They said, you know, I'm pretty sure my recruiter told me that the people they interviewed like 10 different people for the position. I was the only person they were interested in out of all of the 10. And so anyway, and then during the final interview, they were speaking to me as if I was already hired. I was basically just waiting on the paperwork to go through. But there was like a little bit of things that were off. Like I would have gladly accepted the job. Actually, that job would have paid me like $5,000 more than the place I work now. But which isn't a lot, but you know, whatever. But it just seemed that and the job I work for now hadn't even done their first interview with me yet, so I wasn't, you know, guaranteeing anything with that. I wasn't banking on that. And so I was really sad when my recruiter called me one day and she said, well, I think she had told me that the job I work for now was interested in me, but then she was like, basically called and said, these other people called me, the ones that had basically told me I was hired, and they said that they decided to hold off on hiring for the position. And that was kind of devastating because I thought like, oh man, that was my chance. Like, what are the odds that this other job is going to actually pick me? And that was kind of my last resort because I was running out of like similar positions to apply for because these positions are like super niche. And, you know, there's not a lot of open positions. And anyway, I was going to have to basically, if I didn't get one of these 2 jobs, I was going to have to, you know, either go, you know, take a pay cut, basically, which would have sucked. But I still would have been making more than I was before, but it's still, like, it's hard because before I had my living expenses covered, and then now I don't. So, like, if I wasn't making, you know, enough, then it wouldn't have been enough, basically. So anyway, rigmarole, she goes, hey, these people decided not to hire, and I was pretty devastated, but, you know, you still have your interview coming up with this other family, so just really focus on that. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, anyway, I was kind of bummed about it, but I just prepped as hard as I could. And the good thing about it is with the first family I was interviewing for, I didn't even know who the person was that I was assisting because everything's like super, super hush-hush in this field because it's like crazy rich people and they just like don't want anyone to know their business, which is valid. Anyway, the first person I didn't even know who it was, but the second interview, and the one in the city, I actually knew who it was, so I was able to like, you know, do a little bit of research and feel a little bit more prepared, like maybe what their preferences might be and stuff like that, which was helpful. And anyway, my first interview went amazing, and they weren't even, you know, what scared me so bad is the recruiter said, they don't even have an open position, but they just want to meet with you because they feel like you might be a good fit. And I was terrified because I was like, well, they don't have an open position, and this is kind of my last resort, so I was like, oh my god. Anyway, but the interview went amazing, and she basically, the boss, not like the super rich person, but the like chief of staff, just basically said like, oh, like, we really want to work with you, but we need to do a trial first to make sure like it's a good fit. And so basically told me in the first interview that I was going to get a trial, which was super, super exciting because I know like I have a good work ethic, and there's like, I could just do whatever they want, like make them happy, I guess. So yeah, anyway, then the trial happened. I worked my ass off, and I wound up getting an offer, and I moved to the city. So they gave me an offer on a Tuesday, and during the interview process, I said like, oh, like I'm still currently working for my previous employer, so I'd want like a 2-week notice or whatever, so that I can like move and get everything settled with my previous employment, blah blah blah. And she goes, oh yeah, like, and she offered me, and she wanted me to start the very next day. She verbally offered me, and then I was like, I need it, because I was commuting like an hour and a half to get here, with traffic. An hour to an hour and a half, Anyway, and I was like, I really like this. The commute is really hard. Do you like mind if I like have 2 weeks off to like find a place and move? And she was like, well, I can give you the rest of the week off, but we want you to start like at the latest on Monday. And I was like, okay. So basically, in 3 days, I went home that night. It was late. I searched up like a million apartments in the city, and then the next day I went on 10 tours, and I found this place. This place was at the very top of my budget. Like I didn't want to go any higher than the amount that this place cost, but I just fell in love with it because first of all, it's beautiful. It's like, look how nice. I got like the main thing I wanted was like a bay window, because they're so unique to the city. I wanted hardwood floors. I wanted a dishwasher, which is rare in the city, and I wanted access to washer and dryer, so I don't have to like it doesn't have to be in my apartment, but it has to be on site, and it had all of those things. Plus, I literally live like a block away from the water, so it was truly like a miracle. Like I just felt like things were like falling in place, and anyway, the landlord was like, okay, I need to see your offer letter to make sure like you can afford to rent here. And I was like, yeah, they haven't given me one, and like I can't, like everything's super secretive. Like I had to sign NDAs, like I can't tell you who I work for. So even on the offer, like I would have to black out stuff, blah 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 blah. So basically, like the people I work for, they were taking so long to get me an offer letter. They had given me a verbal offer and emailed me a very informal, like, hey, like, we're looking forward to working with you. This is your salary. But nothing, like, formal. And so I was, like, freaking out because, like, basically I didn't want to lose this place because it was, like, by far my favorite. And, yeah, so anyways, basically I wound up convincing my landlord without showing him a formal offer letter that I was good to be here. So that was amazing. And then it was pretty stressful because, I had moved in 3 days and it took forever to get settled. Like you can see right here, I have all these beautiful like picture frames. They're literally blank because I work so much. I haven't had time to fill them. And the pictures that I want to fill them are at home in Oklahoma. And so I literally haven't been there since I started this job. I don't think so. No, I haven't. So anyway, that's the reason why I have not been filming or posting on Instagram, is because I work so much that I just don't have time. And like by the time I get home, I'm like exhausted and I just want to get ready for bed and stuff. And like I have a dog and that takes time. So yeah, good vibes, good stuff. Oh, anyways, but I'm super grateful for it, and I really love what I do. And also, like, it feel like I've accomplished the American dream, because I came from, like, absolutely nothing. Like, I was literally basically an orphan and in the system or whatever, and, no one helped me pay for things. Like, I had to do everything on my own. And now I like live in one of the most expensive cities in the country, and like I'm successful and happy and healthy, and I don't know, I just feel so blessed, and like it feels kind of surreal, like I can't believe I did this, like And I know I talked a little bit about my last relationship, but basically, I think the major reason he broke up with me was, well, there was a lot of reasons. But the main reason he wasn't into me was because, I think because I didn't make enough money. And the reason I didn't make enough money with him is because I was always catering to him and his career. But basically now, like, I'm on par with what he makes, and it's a little satisfying to be like, okay, maybe you didn't have enough faith in me, because I would always tell him, like, hey, like, the reason I'm not making as much as you is because I'm catering to your career. We're not in the city that best supplies for my career. And then he would just be like, you got to go back to school. Like, you're never going to make enough on, like, the education you have now and blah, blah, blah. I can't remember if I wrote down a tally. I don't think I did. But anyway. But yeah, I did it. And here I am. And anyway, that's in the past. You know what is today? It's like December 28th or something. So we have been broken up for 2 years now, because he broke up with me on Christmas Day 2 years ago. So that's kind of crazy. And I've been dating, since, but I haven't been in like anything serious. So I'm trying to find a specific brush. I know this is kind of a slower get ready with me, but I haven't talked in forever, so why not? I honestly wasn't in the super chatty mood before filming this, so I was kind of debating even doing it. But this is because of Christmas, this is the only time I've had off since starting. And I got 4 days off in a row, so I've been going crazy, getting caught up on stuff that I just haven't had time for. I know this looks a little crazy. It's okay. I'm just trying to use my colors. I don't think it's that bad. Should I deepen up the outer corner a little bit? Yeah, let's see. Anyways. Do we or no? That looks like a hot mess, kind of. If I blended it a little bit, it'll be fine. Okay. Anyways. So yeah, I have been dating a little bit. But the thing is, in the city, a lot of people are in the same boat as me where they work a lot. And you know what's crazy? In the city, there's so many attractive young people, an excessive amount, more than college. It feels like a college town, because if you go out in a certain neighborhood, literally everyone's young, hot, and successful. And it's oh my God, excuse me, Jesus. It's honestly kind of crazy. But the problem is, I am dating to marry, and I know what I want. And to me, religion is super important. And most people here are not of the same religion as me, or they're not religious at all. So it's just very hard to find someone who also, checks that box along with other boxes. So I have a feeling I'm probably going to be single for a while. I was dating this dude for a minute. I knew it wasn't going to work out, but I don't know. I was entertaining it because it was easy. Basically, he was a really slow texter, which really annoyed me because I'm big into texting. And, but, it was fine because I was dating other people. And so I didn't really care because we weren't, official. And so it's not like he had to entertain me the entire time. But then, most of our dates were pretty good. I don't like dating introverted people. I like dating extroverted. And he always told me he was introverted, but it didn't feel like it because, our first few dates, he was really great conversationalist and, making a lot of effort. And so I was like, okay, this is fine. I can deal with this. But then, when it came around to, the 5th and 6th date, he did, start to, become more introverted. And basically I had to lead the entire conversation, and it was really frustrating. Because I am extroverted, I do talk a lot, but I just want someone who can have like an open dialogue with me and, you know, ask me questions back or whatever, carry the conversation with me rather than me like talking to myself. And anyway, so it was super awkward. Like we had a pretty decent day because we were like filling it with activities that I planned. And then at dinner it got super fucking awkward because, excuse my language, hopefully you don't have your kids around. It got super awkward because he made one comment that like annoyed me. And then like I was trying to come up with more topics to like carry the conversation, but he was basically just like being rude to me, like being like, why would you ask that? That's a stupid question. Like, and I'm like, well, the reason that I'm asking it is because I'm running out of questions and you're not asking me questions, so I don't know what else to do. And then it just got really awkward. And then basically he took me home, and like he lived like about an hour out of town, so like we had kind of planned for him to like stay longer basically because of the drive. And we got to my house and we're just sitting, and it was like really awkward because no one knew what to say because he can't carry a conversation, and I was over it. Like, and then basically the next day or day after or whatever, she texted me and he was like, I think we should end this because I can't remember what he said. Something about like we don't have enough in common or whatever. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? It was so annoying. I'm happy it happened because, you know, he wasn't the one. Because he was younger than me. Not that much younger, maybe like, I think he was 2 years younger than me. And he was just so experienced, like inexperienced. He had never had a girlfriend, and never like done physical things, which is fine. It's not an issue, but it's like, okay, if you're willing to like break up over one bad date, like obviously you're not ready for a relationship because there's gonna be times where things are awkward or whatever, and you just kind of gotta push through it. I'm trying to find a little, I thought I had a Smashbox primer, but not seeing it. Because I wanted something like kind of moisturizing primer vibe. Sorry, I'm being kind of long-winded. Not really, because hopefully you miss me and you can just put this on double speed or whatever. Okay, let's pick out a primer to use because I don't want to use the ones I have out. Should I do this? I think I should use this. The Touch and Soul No Problem. I'll do that. Or, what's this? Glam Glow Illuminating. No, don't want that. Oh, and wait, I could just use this. No. See, the thing is, this one's super old, so I feel like the SPF is already expired, but I'm scared it's gonna break me out. I don't know, dude. What's this one? Replenishing face primer. Maybe I should use this because it's but I feel bad because I'm just gonna take a shower, but who cares? Okay, anyways, what was I saying? Anyway, like, I'm glad that it, woo, that is very liquidy. Okay, I think I don't need more than that. Alrighty. Anyways, so that's about the furthest it's gone. I did reach out. So when I lived, this was like over a year ago, I was dating this guy. Like, when I say dating, nothing was official. It was just like going on dates. I was dating this guy I really liked because I was like, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not attracted to a lot of people. And I was actually attracted to this guy. And he like checked all the boxes on paper. And we even had like similar interests and stuff. But the problem was he was a bad texter. And I was making all the effort like to see him and stuff, and he wasn't making the effort to see me equally. Like, he would only want to see me when it was convenient, and I dealt with that in college, and I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So anyway, I broke it off with him because it was just like basically obvious that he wasn't even willing to put in like half the effort that I was putting in. And so I broke it off with him. But then I was like, you know, kind of like drunk one night a few months ago, and so I texted him when I was drunk, and I was like, hi, because he lives in the city and I moved to the city, and he didn't know I had moved to the city. But anyway, he was like, oh my gosh, I missed you. I can't, like, I would love to take you out, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I've always been thinking about you. I'm sad it didn't work out. Like, I would love another chance. And I was like, okay, like, I'll let you take me on a date, whatever. And then, so he was like, I have a bachelor party this weekend, but I'll be back by like 7 and we can go to dinner and then we'll have drinks after, and then I can, if I get back earlier, I can plan an activity. And I was like, oh, well, that's nice. Like, that sounds like he's putting in a lot of effort. But I was like, you know, you're probably going to be exhausted after your bachelor party, and sometimes those things run late. So, like, maybe we should plan a time when you, like, don't have plans or whatever, just to make sure. And he's like, no, I can't wait to see you. Like, I blah, blah, blah. So then, and I'm used to him being a bad communicator. So on the day of, I'm like, hey, are, like, we still on? Because I knew he was at a bachelor party, so I wasn't even getting mad that he wasn't, like, texting me a lot. And he was like, yeah, we're still on. And then it got to be around, like, an hour. I had already done my whole makeup. Because we were supposed to meet at, like, 7 for dinner or something. No, he texted me, around, like, I don't remember. But basically, he told me earlier in the day, like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna make dinner because this is running late and I'm driving back now, but right as soon as I get back, we'll go have a drink. And I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Because, like, I honestly expected his thing to run late or whatever. And he wound up getting back around 9, and I was like, okay, like, let me know your ETA. And I'll start getting ready, like, and then so I did all my makeup and all my hair, and I looked so cute because I was all excited. And then he texted me literally, like, right as he was about to get home and right as I was, like, leaving soon. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually so exhausted. I don't think I can do it. Like, I want to be, like, energized when I'm with you, and I feel exhausted, and I just feel like I'm literally falling asleep driving and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm already ready, literally about to call an Uber. And I know his address because of when we dated previously. We looked up his address. The bar that he picked was literally a 3-minute walk from his address. And so I was like, if this dude isn't willing to fucking walk sorry I keep cussing, gosh, I need to get on that. If this dude isn't willing to walk 3 minutes and, I don't know, drink an espresso martini, drink some caffeine, get it together, then he's still on his old BS of, like, not putting in any effort. And then after that, I just went off on him because it was, like, literally he told me this as I was literally about to call an Uber. And with no notice. And I was just like, you know what? He had already played me. I don't know. I think it was like we had ended things like 8 months prior to that or something. I don't know. Maybe even less, maybe 6. I don't know. But anyway, he had already played me like that before, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, this is the same stuff that we ended it over before. And anyway, so I ended it. I was just basically went off on him, and I was kind of mean about it. I was like, you know what? And he was like, sorry, you didn't seem that excited. Like, I didn't, and I had canceled plans with my other friend to hang out with him and, like, whatever. And I told him, I was like, dude, I literally rescheduled plans to hang out with you. And he's like, I'm sorry, you didn't seem excited. I didn't think you would care. I'm like, I was excited, but I'm not anymore. Like, you blew your, and then he was like, well, let's reschedule. I'm like, you literally blew your shot. Like, what are you talking about? This was your shot and you blew it. Like, I gave you so many chances to have an out and to be like, oh, like, let's pick a different time. But you continued and drag it out to the very last second. So, yeah. Anyways, that ended with him. And the only reason I brought that up is because it was kind of on my mind because I posted an Instagram story yesterday of, like, wishing my friend a happy birthday or whatever. And he liked the story. And he never likes my stuff, like, he never does. I don't think he's liked anything aside from when we were actually dating. So that's fun. So yeah, that's how my dating world is going. Basically nothing. And the thing is, like, in my hometown, I'm debating even using powder. I might do like a light dusting of powder. Just because I usually would do cream products at this step, but basically, like, because I'm only showering this off, I don't want to waste my product. So I'm just trying to, like, make myself presentable enough to film a video for, like, my actual project pan. So basically, yeah, he liked my thing and he never likes my stuff. So I was like, oh, interesting. What else? So I've gone over jobs and dating. I would talk about my job more because it's actually a super interesting job, but I can't because of like the NDAs and stuff. Like I just want to keep it really private, I guess. I just don't want to get in trouble. But another thing I could talk about is, so I moved from like the South Bay, which is like the San Jose area. And I had all my friends from down there because I had lived there for like over a year before moving up to the city. And so I had all my close friends. But, you know, I didn't really have friends in the city. And like it's inconvenient to drive like an hour and a half anytime you want to hang out with friends. So I was out with my friends one night. I think my friends from the South Bay had come up to visit me in the city because the city's more fun than like San Jose. Anyway, and I was drunk or whatever at a bar, and I was in line for the bathroom, and this other girl came up to me, super sweet, and was like, oh my gosh, like, we should be friends. I was like, yeah, I would love to make friends. Like, I just moved to the city. I don't know anyone. And anyway, she got my Instagram, and then a couple weeks later, she messaged me, and she's like, hey, like, I'm going out with my friends if you want to hang out with us. And I was like, I would love that. And so anyway, I went with her. It wound up like that night, for some reason, her friends, like, weren't there, but me and her hung out, and she was super nice, and we just, you know, got along really well. And then she, you know, in time since then, she's introduced me to a bunch of, I have a cold. She's introduced me to a bunch of her friends. I mean, is it really necessary for me to do brow powder? Probably not. I don't know. I'm trying to do like the minimum to not waste makeup. Anyway, so she's introduced me to a bunch of her friends, and we've just been having a ton of fun together, and her friends are all like kind of my age, which is nice. And I still have remained really good friends with my friends like from down south. So everything is just working out really well. And I went through kind of a rough patch at work because just like some silly things that I can't talk about. But things are on the up, and yeah, so I'm just feeling pretty good. My brother just had a baby, and he lives like, you know, across the country. So I haven't met his baby yet, but I'm gonna get to meet him technically next month, in about a month from now. So I'm super excited about that. And what else? My dog's doing pretty well. It's a little bit of an adjustment for her because when I lived in the South Bay, I was working from home, and she was just with me all the time, and she basically was never alone. And now I have to go into work. I don't have an option to like work from home, so she has to be home alone a lot. And if I leave her out, she barks, and so I have to leave her in her cage, which is really unfortunate. Like, I really don't want to do that, but she actually likes her cage. Like, she runs in her cage every day. But I just feel really guilty. So I get her a babysitter. Like, I try to like twice a week, so that it's like she's not alone for like 5 days in a row. She's only there like, you know, 2 days at a time or whatever, because it's expensive like to get a dog sitter. So I try to do it on like a Wednesday if I can only afford one that week, so that she's only like alone Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. Or if it's like I'm feeling splurgy, I'll get her one on like a Tuesday and a Friday so that she's only has to be alone twice in a row, like once. So yeah. And then what else? But anyway, she's been pretty happy. This is my first time ever living alone. I've always had roommates before, so it's quite interesting. I thought I would get more like lonely, I guess, than I have been. But it's not been that bad because I work so much that it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't see how people like work this much and have like much of a life. Like oh, another thing. I think I used to tell you guys like I like to dance. And when I lived in the South Bay, I had like a lot of extra time. And so I would go dancing like at least once a week, like bachata. And now I don't have time for it. And like I work from 10 to 7 and then the dancing starts at 8. And then I feel guilty over leaving Stella. So if I do it, I have to give her a babysitter. So anyway, I kind of took a break from dancing for like 6 months or whatever to get in the groove of my new job and the hours and all that. Which honestly, I think in the summer the hours will be more manageable. Like it won't be this intense. But that being said, anyway, so I went, and after not having danced for like 6 months, I went like 2 weeks ago. And it was absolutely terrible because where I used to go in the South Bay, like everyone knew me. So everyone was really nice to me. And I was one of the better dancers, like probably the best female dancer. Well, objectively speaking, I don't know, one of the top female dancers. So like everyone wanted to dance with me. But here, especially because I'm rusty, but even in my prime, I wasn't as good as the people here because the city, this is San Francisco. This is like the place for bachata. Like, I don't know, I would assume like here even more so than like Chicago or New York, this is where the good dancers are as far as bachata goes. So yeah, anyway, the first hour was fine because that's when all the like kind of newer people come. But then like as the night goes on, oh, you know what? I gotta use this one. As the night goes on, like the better dancers come. I don't know why the good dancers don't show up until like, I don't know, late. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know if it's like 9:30 or 10. Actually this eye look doesn't actually look crazy. It looks kind of good. Let me mark this talent. I already marked it. I guess I already used it. Weird. Anyways, then all the good dancers showed up and everyone wanted to dance with them, obviously. And so then I'm still a good dancer. I'm just not amazing like they are. Anyways, so then I went like 5 songs without getting asked to dance, which was like shitty because I'm not used to that. Like I'm used to being asked like literally every song. And so I gave it like 5 songs and I was like, okay, this is awkward and uncomfortable. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave. And I saw like another dude that I had met at a previous dance event, and he like, I don't know, he's always like flirting with me or whatever. And so, and he's like a decent dancer. He's not a bad dancer, but he's like super short dude. Like he's not my type. But anyway, he's just, I thought he was like a nice guy. I was like, oh yeah, like, I think I'm gonna leave soon because like no one's really asking me to dance. And I jokingly said, I guess I'm not very good. And then he was like, yeah, you should do some more lessons. And I just got like offended because I don't take criticism well. And anyway, it kind of hurt my feelings, and I was like, okay, goodbye. Like, I literally laughed, and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, it made me not want to go back. Like, and then I told one of my other dancer friends, like, DM'd me, and then I told them, like, what happened, and they're like, yeah, like, it's different in the city. They don't like to dance with people they don't know. It doesn't mean you're bad. It's just because they know all of these like crazy good people and they want to dance with like people they know, which is lame to me because I think you should just ask everyone. But yeah. And then it's like, yeah, if I went to the classes, I'm sure like they would recognize me and want to dance with me, but I don't have time. Like I literally had to jump through hoops to even show up to that event, much less like go to classes and spend money on classes. So kind of one that makes me like, if I magically did have time over the summer or something, it makes me want to do a completely different style of dance. Like I know that's so petty to be like wanting to give up over one bad experience, but I'm like, I don't know. It just like really was not a good time and I just felt like uncomfortable. So maybe it'll be fun to like try a new style of dance or something. Oh my gosh, for work in my Christmas gift, I got a YSL lipstick. I've never had anything YSL. Isn't this cool? It's like, not pigmented, it's like a balm. What's it called? Love Shine Candy Glow. It's good with this look because I had on the lip liner. See, it's pretty, but it's because I have the lip liner on. So yeah, this is the final look, I think. Let me spray my face and we'll call it done. So yeah, I hope this answered some questions as to why I haven't filmed anything. I genuinely, let me yap slightly more. I genuinely still enjoy makeup and I still enjoy panning and panning projects. I even watch panning YouTube videos before I go to bed still. Not every night like I used to, but like, I don't know, a decent amount. I just have to be more selective. Like I can't watch every single video now. I just have to watch like my favorite people or my favorite types of videos or something like that. And if I haven't commented, I don't actually comment usually when I watch videos, so no one would know, but sometimes I do. But anyway, I will get to your videos. I just have been crazy busy. But I think over the summer, like I said, it'll chill out because the family I work for goes to like their vacation home, and so it's just like more normal work hours rather than like staying so late. So yeah, hopefully I have more time in that season. I am not sure. You guys let me know. I'm not sure if I think I'm going to do it because YOLO. I don't know how annoying it is that I don't actually post uploads or whatever. I feel like people probably don't even notice for the most part. I mean, if a few people do and they message me and they're like, hey, just checking in, which is so sweet. But I feel like most people probably don't even notice. So I think I'm going to still do a panning project next year, even if it means not posting regularly. I think it's still fun to do, like, regardless, like, even if it's just for myself. Also, another point I wanted to make is because I've been so busy, I haven't been doing too crazy a makeup. Like, even when I go out, I don't even do that crazy a makeup. Like, I keep it more standard. So some of my projects have suffered as far as like the colorful stuff. However, it has made me have zero desire to buy makeup because I don't even have time to play with the makeup that I do have. Makes me definitely not want to buy anything. For instance, like I haven't bought any eyeshadow palettes this year at all, like 0 eyeshadow palettes, and like my average was like 1 to 2 per year before this leading up. So it's good that I haven't been buying more, but I do wish I had more time to like actually play like I used to. But you know, you gotta make time for the things you want, so maybe I should make more time. But also, I don't like wearing a full face of makeup to work because it just feels like dirt on my face. So what I normally do, if you're interested, I could do a get ready with me for work that's just like a super simple, like all I really do is like concealer, eyeshadow, and then blush and bronzer with no foundation, and then like a lipstick. That's it. I don't even do like brows or anything. So yeah. Anyways, I will quit yapping, but I just wanted to check in. I hope everyone's doing amazing. Feel free to give me a life update on yourself down below, or make any commentary you want on mine. Also, let me know if you want an apartment tour. It's not completely done. I've lived here for over 6 months, but because I know I keep saying this over and over, I haven't had time. So like you can see here, I have like a gallery wall, and I like to paint, so I just haven't had time to do all the paintings that I want to do. So there's like, how many now? I actually painted like 2 or 3. I've painted 3 yesterday. So I still have 1, 2, 3 that need to be finished, and then that gallery wall will be complete. And then I need to fill in these pictures. But other than that, my apartment's pretty much done. By the way, if you're wondering if this is a real tree, I'm obsessed with it. It is after Christmas, but I think I'm gonna leave it up until after the Epiphany, which is, I believe, on January 6th. So maybe next weekend I'll take it down. So anyway, God bless you. God bless your family. I hope everyone is doing well and had a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Goodbye.